Hi, my name is Wesley Douglas and I'm the chairperson of the Economic Equality Charter campaign. And the campaign is designed to deal with economic transformation in South Africa as a whole. 20 years after democracy, we find ourselves in a situation where we're still struggling with economic liberation. Even though we have political freedom, we have so many different civil rights, government has done much in terms of electrifying and housing and doing a lot of different things to alleviate poverty in our country. But there's a lot of different things that are going on in our country that I want to address through this campaign. And I know that there are thousands, even millions of you out there that have joined this campaign and have said we want to be part of the economic liberation of South Africa. This campaign is not a colored or black or white campaign. This is a South African campaign for a non-racial South Africa and a non-racial economy. Our sign, our logo is the not equal sign. And the reason we chose the not equal sign is because the reality is in South Africa today we are not equal. We'd love to be a non-racialist society. We'd like to be a society made up of people that have an equal opportunity to economic activity, economic success, to be able to be anything and do anything that they have in their hearts. But the truth is, in South Africa today, that is not the case. We aren't equal. We're still economically disadvantaged because we are black, because of the color of our skin. And we need to address this before it becomes a major issue in the future of our country. We had a precipice, we had a watershed moment in our country. As South Africans, we need to decide, are we going to be a country that decides that we are going to go the direction of collective bargaining and designing something like the Economic Equality Charter that will help us to go into a future together? Or are we going to be in a situation where we're going to allow certain elements within our society to destroy this country, destroy this economy because of this issue? It's time for radical change. There's an old saying, you can't expect to do the same thing every day and get a different result. It's the same thing year in, year out. Every day we see that people are hurt, we see people are stuck in poverty, we see small businesses going out of business, we see black economic exclusion, not participation, we see slow land reform processes, we see so many different things that many people are talking around the dinner tables, talking in the pubs, in the shebeens, in the churches, everywhere people is talking about the same thing. But there isn't a platform or way for us to really deal with this. Politics is great, it's got its uses, but what we need is a movement of civil society. And that is what the Economic Equality Charter aims to do. The Economic Equality Charter was designed so that all people from all walks of life, different religions, backgrounds, different persuasions across the board can be a part of it. Because it's about being behind the truth, it's about justice, it's about righteousness, it's about doing the right thing, it's about restitution. It's about going back into our country's history and saying, man, we were economically disadvantaged as black South Africans. And I say black and I say colored, black, Indian, all of us together as a group. We believe in a non-racialist South Africa. This is not a political movement, this is a movement for change. And I want to encourage you to get behind it. Whether you're a local church or a mosque or you're a local community, you can get behind the Economic Equality Charter. Wear the badge, wear the logo, show people that you are a part of what we are believing and doing. Because if we don't bring change now, change will be forced upon us. And change can come peacefully or change can come through the barrel of a gun. We don't want change in South Africa to come through protests and rioting and that kind of thing. We want peaceful change. But in order for peaceful change to happen, we have to unite our voices. We have to stand together. We have to demand that change happens now. We need white companies, white-owned companies who have been unfairly advantaged by the economic history of our country and by the apartheid past. We need them to step up and to say, you know what, we don't want our factories burnt down. We don't want our country destroyed and white people kicked out and all this kind of things that people are calling for in our political realm. What we want is a settled negotiation. We want a situation where white companies will step forward and say, man, let's talk about procurement. Let's talk about how do we get black SMMEs into our businesses on a 60-70% scale where we can really give them access to opportunities. If there are businesses that aren't ready, if there are businesses that aren't measuring up, what are we as white South Africans, as corporates, going to do about this? The enemy here is not white people. This is not an anti-white campaign. This is a campaign against the system that was put in place by apartheid. That system was economic domination of black people. And we want to change that system right now. This is not anti-white. We actually want white South Africans to join this campaign, to be a part of this campaign. I love white South Africans. I love black South Africans. I love colored, I love everybody. But the truth is, unless we deal with the root of the problem, we are going to still deal with the fruit of unrest and of destruction and of hatred and racism for many generations to come. Now's the time for us to act, and if we don't act, it's going to be us that's going to be to blame for the country that our children inherit. Today, let's make a decision, let's make a choice to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. Let's make a choice to be part of the Economic Equality Charter. Let us make a choice to stand together, to hold hands across color lines, across religious backgrounds, across any kind of divide that we can think of, and let us say, we are going to take a stand. We're going to boycott companies that don't want to transform. We're going to divest our investments from them. We're going to make sure their share prices get affected. We're going to whitelist them. In other words, we're going to lobby government. We're going to lobby large corporations and union investment companies. We're going to lobby them that they don't do business with these companies. And we are going to make sure that we name and shame them and make sure that the media and the world understand that these companies are against and unpatriotic, and they're against transformation within our country. But we need your support. We need every single one of you to get behind us. We need every single one of you to make a decision to say, okay, enough is enough. In our small group, we can make a difference. Make a video. Get 50 people together. Get 20 people together. Make a video of the fact that you are against economic inequality in South Africa. Get a banner, put a unequal sign in red on the banner, on a sheet or anything, and get 50, 100, 1,000 people behind the banner and say, we are against the bad situation that we find in South Africa. We want you to really be a part of it, and it needs to be a grassroots movement. There's on iPetition, there's a petition that you go in and you can go and fill on electronically. You can follow us on Twitter at Unequal SA. You can also follow us on our Facebook site, which is the Economic Equality Charter. And you can really just get behind us and support us. We're going to have demonstrations. We're going to have marches to those companies that don't want to transform. But we're also going to have sign-ups where companies that we do go to and we say, do you want to transform? Will you help us with procurement? Will you help us by obeying the law of black economic empowerment and employment equity? If they sign up to the charter, and you can read the charter on our Facebook site, there's nothing there that nobody can sign up to. If they agree to do that, we're also going to have sign-up ceremonies where these companies are going to come forward and say, we want to be part of the solution. If we can start this and see this through, I know that we can find a better South Africa. See, corruption's not just a thing about the politicians. People are always fighting about, politicians are corrupt and this is happening and that's happening. But, corruption starts in the corporate world. And the most corrupt people right now are actually the people that are running these large white corporations. They're excluding black people, they're excluding black South Africans, they are squashing SMMEs, and they've got massive monopolies, massive cartels. They've been found guilty by the Competition Commission of massive collusion and on a white racist basis. Now, we don't want that kind of behavior in South Africa anymore. We want a South Africa that is free, that is fair, that is non-racialist. But we need to deal with the root of the problem before we can actually deal with the solutions. Yes, we need education. Yes, we need skills development. Yes, we need people in small businesses to be helped. But what we found is that there's enough black professionals. There's enough black SMEs doing great work that can deliver the services, but they're not getting the opportunities. They are facing the glass ceilings, and it's because there's this group, this cartel, this monopoly of white-owned businesses that is keeping black business out. We have said enough is enough. Through the Economic Equality Campaign, through the work that we are busy doing, we are going to put a stop to it, and it starts now. So get involved, get behind us, and let's be part of the solution.